Okay, who versus whom. This is another concept that is featured quite a good bit on the SAT and the ACT, so let's take some time to just really learn how to correctly answer these. Okay, first thing I want you to know. Who replaces the noun he, she, or they as the subject of a sentence. Now, I know that may not make a whole lot of sense in isolation, but just bear with me a few moments and it'll make sense a lot more than it does now. Next, I want to share with you that whom replaces the noun him, her, or them. And once again, in isolation, this doesn't make much sense, but again, just be patient with me. I'll explain better in a few moments. One thing I do want to highlight though is how to quickly remember this in case you forget. Notice whom has the letter M in it, him has the letter M, them has the letter M. So the M's go together, and if you have him, then you have to have her, because her is the feminine version of him. So M's go together. That's just a quick reminder on how to place these, like him, her, and them goes with whom. Now, let's look at an example to really make sense of this and show you how this works in the real world. Our objective here on this question is to fill the blank with either who or whom. And remember, we're going to check to see if we can replace the noun with the pronouns he, she, they, or him, her, or them. Let's read it. Margaret is a reporter blank called the mayor's office. So we want to see if we can replace Margaret with one of these pronouns. Would we say she is a reporter, or would we say her is a reporter? Right? We would say she is a reporter who called the mayor's office, and since she fits, who is the correct answer to this? Simple as that. All right, so there are a few other ways you could actually view who versus whom, and I'm going to share with you two other things that will help you remember when to use who versus when to use whom. So one other thing I want to share with you is this. You never put whom before a verb. Whom before a verb is always wrong. And I'm going to give you an example of what not to do first, then I'll give you an example of how to fix it. So here's the example of what not to do. This is incorrect. Derek Prince was an evangelist whom earned. Earned is a verb, and you never put whom before a verb. That would be incorrect. To fix this, you used who. Derek Prince was an evangelist who earned renown for his teachings. Correct. All right. Also remember that whom after a preposition is always correct. So again, to illustrate this, I'm going to show you the incorrect version, and then I'm going to fix it by giving you the right answer. So again, remember, whom after a preposition is always good. Here's the incorrect version. Dr. Lonnie King is the leader to who, incorrect, many generations owe their freedom. To fix this, we would say Dr. Lonnie King is the leader to whom. Again, to is a preposition, and after a preposition, you use whom, not who. So this would be the correct version. This would be the incorrect version. I hope that gives you a much better understanding. If this is still hazy in your mind, that's okay. So just come back to this lesson. You may have to watch it 2 times, 3 times. Each time, take notes, and just take a moment to just let it simmer in your brain. All right, so let's go on and try some actual questions and see if we can apply what we just learned. Let's go for it. This is question 67. So we're trying to answer this part right here, starting right here. Other letters are solemn, speaking of relatives and friends whom had died. Again, remember whom and who and what we just talked about. Remember, you never use whom before a verb. Had is a verb. So no. Whom would not make sense. That's one way to think about it. The other way to think about it is you ask yourself, would you say them had died, or would you say they had died? So this goes with whom, this goes with who. We would say they had died, they, which means who makes the best sense, making B the answer to this question.